Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the 9th season for the Walking Dead television series. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts now that we've seen the trailer, now that we know the Whispers are going to be coming early season 9, whether or not we think they may be responsible for Rick's death. Oh man, so continuing along with all of the videos this weekend after the huge trailer release on Friday. If you guys haven't seen some of the videos that I've done, I'll have a few in the end screen credits for you here so you can go ahead and watch them through. We did a reaction video to the trailer, we did a review of the trailer, we did giving our thoughts on Alpha being cast, and we did one on Andrew Lincoln confirming for us that this is his final time reprising his role as Rick. So if you missed any of those, I'll have them in the end screen credits. Watch them after this video, man. This is really crazy stuff. This trailer I thought was really awesome, and you know it's a good trailer if you're still buzzing from it after a few days later. You know, I'd say this is easily better than probably the season 7 trailer, probably the season 8 trailer. I mean, it's a really great trailer, and there's lots of exciting developments coming up. So this one kind of came in pretty quickly after, since we're starting to see the Whispers in that trailer, and there may be actually a few, and I'll do a breakdown video later on today or tomorrow for you guys where we go more in depth and we take a look through, because there's some cool stuff in the trailer, man, that you can miss. There's like Commonwealth signs and all kinds of different. There's an A on the helicopter. It's like, I thought we'd be done with the A, Gimple. The hell, you know? It's A's everywhere, right? So it just trolls me for so many years. Like, what does the A mean? God damn it. So we'll do a breakdown video soon. You know, once I get around to going through it all, because those videos take a little bit longer to make. So I'll have that for you guys either today or tomorrow later on. Maybe tonight, because it's like, you know, Sundays are Walking Dead day, right? So there's that. But yeah, man, so could the Whispers be responsible for Rick's death? I mean, there's the part there where he's on the bridge in the trailer and looks to be down. He may have gotten stabbed. There's the other part with the boots walking that looks like he's bleeding out from somewhere. So that's an interesting one. You know, I really feel like they put probably parts of Rick's death in this trailer. I really do. And even though it's not obvious the matter in which he's going to die, kind of the spoilers that have been posted earlier, which we don't know if they're correct anyway, said that it had something to do with a walker herd in it. You can see there's parts where Rick is like going in and around a zombie herd. So, you know, a normal zombie herd, I don't think normally you would have it take Rick out unless he sacrifices himself to save the rest of the group as part of that process. So I can see this going a couple ways. If Rick does go down as a result of a small zombie group or a small zombie herd, which it sounds like he might in around episode 4, 5, 6-ish type range, you know, could it be a small group of zombies led by the Whispers? And that's like right at the beginning when we're just starting to see them introduced. That could be really cool, because then it could be like, you know, it would make sense as well, too. Rick is a pro, obviously, and you think that a normal zombie group that's kind of coming through, he usually wouldn't be dead-ended. This wouldn't be a dumpster situation where they go down the wrong alleyway and stupid Nicholas gets them cornered in, right, and then they have nowhere to go. Seeing that happen to Rick, you know, he's an old-school pro at this point. I can only see that happening if he does it on purpose in order to save the rest of the group from some kind of, like, you know, zombie herd or something of the sort. But you know, the thing is with the Whispers is that it could be a really cool type introduction, and if they use Rick's death for that, I mean, that would just be absolutely nuts. Like if you had, let's say, we didn't even know, so we're the audience, we're watching the episode go through, 4, 5, or 6, one of these 3. The Whispers are just starting to come in, but maybe we have a Whisper scene where they hear some Whispers from the zombie group in the mud scene, and then after that, you know, we see Rick and he's trying to lead a group of walkers, and he doesn't realize the threat of the walkers, because he thinks he's just going to lead them this way, and then maybe he'll go out of sight or something will happen, and you know, something will draw them out a different way, and then all of a sudden maybe they turn towards him. That could be really scary. Like if you want to talk about like a scariest death ever, that would be one of the scariest death ever. And then also, and he'd be confused by it. The audience would be confused by like, why did the walkers switch direction? And then we could like, you know, look at it and see like there's a Whisper at the front leading them in that way. Where are they? They're steering it, right? So that's something with the audience, and as well for him, he could be surprised by, because maybe, you know, he's doing the usual thing and he's like, oh, no big deal, a small group of zombies or whatever, I'm just leading them away, whatever, and then somehow something happens and it's supposed to pull them in a different direction or something, and they change course because there's a whisper at the front walking. And maybe he notices something, one of them's holding a butcher knife and it cuts him or something like that, and he barely gets away, or he doesn't, or he gets devoured. I don't know. So we'll see. So that could be a brutal end for Rick, and a great introduction for the Whispers. I mean, if you want to get the audience, I know we just had All Out War, so people are not really going to be amped that much to see another war right after that, right? They're not going to be like, oh, let's see the survivors go to war against Whispers right away. But if you used Rick's death to bring the Whispers in as like the ultimate introduction, I mean, that would be like a bigger introduction than the double death with Glenn and Abraham at the hands of Lucille and Negan, right? So that could be absolutely crazy, man. We've got some good kind of questions here. Jakoob Shmeedurmahn said, a Whisper arc without Rick, that'll be depressing. At least we have Negan. And then Ryanatour said, what if the Whispers made a mask of Rick's face, right? So he's going to use a Rick's face mask. Another one is a cool idea is where they're bringing John Bernthal in, and if maybe one of the Whispers, like maybe one of the skins or something, could remind Rick of him. Like, how is he going to kind of fit in with the story? Is it going to be as part of his death that he's going to, meet him in the afterlife or something, and we're going to get to see Rick kind of pass over or cross over, go through the tunnel into the light type of thing? I don't know, man. That could be really exciting. So, kind of the idea. Leave it in the comments below. Of course, there's the idea of having his head just on a pike or something, marking their border or something like that. But I tend to think that would probably be later on. So I'm predicting. I don't think we're going to see Rick's head on a spike or on a pike. I don't see it right now. I mean, it's possible, but based on the timing, I think it makes more sense they do something else like that, and he has some kind of death like that as a result of either the Whisperers kind of bringing him in, or this small Civil War thing they have going on here, tainted weapon or something. I don't know. Something like this is probably what we'll see. But man, that could be a crazy way to introduce the Whisperers if they were to successfully kill Rick. And the audience is thinking, like, why did that group of walkers change direction, right? So the people who haven't read the comics, they would have no idea. They'd be so confused by it, right? So really cool stuff. So let me know what you guys think about those ones, how you want to see Rick go down. It sounds like we're probably not going to see the peaceful, he just ages and then he kind of lets go and just kind of dies in bed or something like that. It's probably going to be, it's The Walking Dead, so it's probably going to be brutal, and Whispers may be involved, or maybe it's just a random horde of zombies. I don't know, man. It's like one of those where are they, where is he type of thing. Man, could be cool. It could be cool. It could be really cool for sure. Sean Burg said, now that Rick's death is confirmed, can we move on to talk about how Maggie will leave? I think she'll go in search for Georgie of the Commonwealth, leaving the door open for a return. What are your thoughts, Trev? Yeah, I agree with you, Sean. We know Angela Kang, showrunner for the season, did say that they're leaving the door open for Maggie to return. So even though it sounds like there will not be a door open for Rick to return based on what Andrew Lincoln had said, which means death, probably. He's going to be killed off, probably. With Maggie, she kind of said the opposite. She kind of said that with Maggie, the situation is that if Lauren is able to return later, if she can in a year or two or whenever, they could bring her back. So I think I like your idea. They know where the Commonwealth is, or they know Toledo or whatever. There's some other communities in there. So if she was to kind of go and leave for a while on some kind of journey or something, and maybe take a couple of people with her, then that could allow her to kind of leave, go do her other show, and eventually they could bring her back, which I hope they will do, because really, if you're losing Rick, you really don't need to lose Maggie at the same time, too. It's unnecessary, right? But yeah, for Jakoob, who said earlier that Whisper arc without Rick is going to be depressing, but it'll be without Rick and without Carl, too, and both of them were huge in the comic book version of the Whisper story arc. They were huge. I mean, the two of them were like two of the most forefront characters, so not having both of them is going to change up the TV series a lot, and we'll see how it goes, but at least they're bringing the Whispers in pretty soon, because I was almost thinking we might have to wait and they'd bring in the Commonwealth first, which it looks like they're kind of bringing both in, along, like at the same, like in parallel, like they're both kind of coming in different parts, and they're kind of mixing them both in, which is perfect, right? Really, really good. Carl Grimes says, maybe Rick goes to Fear. That would be interesting. So I wanted to include this one just to say that we pretty much know that's not happening, because Andrew Lincoln said it's his last time reprising his role as Rick Grimes, right? So that to me means, or his last season of Rick Grimes. Now, I mean, you can sit here and say, well, you could have phrased it this way, so maybe it still leaves room for a movie, or maybe it still leaves room for that. I don't think so, guys. I think he requested to be killed off. Like, I think he, from the sounds of things, the way the contract might have gone down and that kind of deal, I think he had enough of doing it. That's what I think. He almost put a decade into the series. It's like 9 years, pretty much a decade, you could say, because they got auditions and all that and everything else that went into the first to get it started. So he pretty much put a decade into the show. I think he just decided, like, maybe it was after Carl, but he just decided there that that was it for him. He was gonna. He was going to move on after that. He was going to let it go. And maybe his family pushed him for it. Maybe his family wanted that. So what are you going to do, man? There's people involved, and it's what it is. You gotta take care of your family. Family comes first, right? So it is what it is. And I think he's going to be killed off, because I think that's what he wanted. He just was like, everyone else has been killed off. Kill me off, man. If it's brutal, whatever, okay, let's do it. Because it's my time, right? It just felt like it was his time. Probably after Carl. That's what I think. I think after killing Carl off, because who knows, man? If Chandler Riggs was still there in season 9, would he have wanted this? And that's a good question. I want you guys to leave a comment below. If Chandler Riggs was still in the show and they'd have killed off somebody else, like Tara, if they'd have killed Tara off in the season 8 mid-season finale instead of Carl, right? If they'd have gone that route instead. Do you think Andrew Lincoln would still want to do it in season 9, or do you think that killing Carl off really did make it so he's like, end of a book, not an end of a chapter, I'm out, I'm just done. Everyone else is dead, I don't want to do this anymore or something. Let me know what you guys think. Leave that comment below. I really want to see how, especially after the interviews at Comic-Con and stuff, what you guys think about that one. Tracy Frederick says, I think that Andrew Lincoln meant that Rick Grimes will always be a part of his life, so he'll always have a relationship with the character, but literally he is done with the part. I'm sure after 9 years, he's very much attached to the Walking Dead world, but he's got to move on. He can't keep can't keep doing the part like that. And it's like, yeah, I agree with you, Tracy. I think that's exactly what he meant. That Rick will always be a part of his life. He'll always have a relationship to that character. But at the same time, and who knows, man? Maybe he's got something else lined up. Like maybe some people have speculated on some other series that are coming up, like Lord of the Rings, which will be a big one. The budget for that's humongous. Maybe he's got a role in something else that he was scouted for. Maybe somebody sent him a thing. It was like, if you're finished up Walking Dead, we got a great opportunity for you or something. And maybe he took another opportunity, so maybe he kind of has to leave. Maybe something in the UK, or maybe some movie deals. Because the thing about it is that TV series, The Walking Dead has a pretty good budget. They can pay people, millions of dollars, whatever, over seasons. But I don't know if they can compete with movie money, right? They might not be able to compete with movie money. Movie money might be like, you come out and do this one movie, and we give you $4 million or $5 million for one movie. You don't have to spend 3 years of the whole summer and like work half the year. Maybe you come out and you do the movie a little bit and you get movie money, which is big, right? I mean, who's not going to want to get Andrew Lincoln for their movie after he was killed off as Rick? Everyone's going to want to get him for a movie, whether it's, who knows, man, James Bond or something else people have speculated on. Who knows, man? I'm looking forward. I hope in the future he does take on some other projects, and I'd love to watch them and review them with you guys and just give our thoughts on them, because, I appreciate all the work he did in The Walking Dead for us. He stuck around longer than probably almost anybody else would have, and without him, I don't know if the series would have been so successful. And so the last one will be from Velshin, who says, thanks for the video, man. I have a question for you, Trev. Which season do you think Rick is the most savage and ruthless in the Walking Dead TV series? For me, I think it is Rick of season 5, the most savage and merciless version of him. And I agree with you. Running over Bob in the car, right? That was brutal. And also, too, he didn't even feel bad about it afterwards. He's like, I told you to stop. Like, what the hell are you doing? You should know the rules, man. You're a cop. What the hell? So it's like, yeah, he was savage in that season, especially with Gareth and how he hacked him up, machete with a red handle, right? And he just like, that was brutal, man. And they should, I hope with the Whispers they bring that kind of stuff back in, because that was one of the seasons where they did the best they've ever done that season. Highest rated season in terms of viewership on first airing they ever had was season 5. So, maybe they should try to get back to that a little bit. And yeah, absolutely. That was when he was most savage, I think, of any season. I also liked in season, second half of season 5 when they did the stuff with Jesse and Peter or Pete, where it's kind of like he was kind of anyway, you can watch some of those videos if you want to see, but basically it seemed like he was doing the right thing, but also it seemed like he had self-interest in that, right, with kind of what was happening with her and her husband and stuff, because he totally wouldn't do it for just anybody else, right? So it was kind of like, okay then, but that means that you're playing the moral card, but then really at the same time it's like a double standard, because you wouldn't just do it for anybody else, as you admitted. So anyway, he went in Shane and that season, so that was good stuff. And season 6 as well too was really great. So yeah, man, but he's had to do some crazy stuff throughout, but maybe season 5 is the most savage Rick will ever be. That'll be it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please don't forget to thumb it up below, and share, favorite, all that good stuff. Send me more comments and all that stuff for more videos this week, and I'll see you back again soon for the breakdown video tonight or maybe tomorrow. That's it for this one, guys. We'll see you again soon for another. It's Trev. Oh yeah, check out the t-shirt store, thumbs up, subscribe, all the good stuff. See you guys. Trev, say peace.